about where we can get it, what's clean, and what isn't. This is where fear enters again. Fear that the lights will go out. Fear that we have no more gas for our cars. We get a lot of fear. But what we don't get is great new and innovative ideas, which is what the Green Party wants. So, without further ado, I'd like to introduce Jesse Johnson. He's been nominated for the U.S. Senate for West Virginia twice. He has been a Green Party presidential contender. He holds the distinction of being the only third-party candidate in history to get an endorsement from the Sierra Club. He will speak to you, and that says something about Sierra Club, right? He will speak to you about the myths of energy and what we really should be concerned about. Dude.
Thank you. Thank you for being here. That's the first step that we all have to make. I've tried to make a big step to be here myself, and following Dr. Flowers was unique for me today because I have recently had to deal with a health issue, which I have no means of dealing with as far as financially. I have no health care. And so I understand firsthand how difficult these things can be. Also, I wanted to mention that I am dressed in black in mourning for today was the last day in West Virginia, my home, when they found the last of the 29 coal miners below ground, and this is something that people refer to as an accident in West Virginia, and I put forward that it is no accident, and it's a result of negligence, and negligence is something that is prosecutable and needs to be. And so, actually I was going to start out with a short piece that I have on this, but I would have to have everyone move into one area just to watch that. But if you'd like to see that, and you might be able to see and hear it if we were all here. But the point is that it tells a little bit of our story. It certainly tells a bit of my story, and it touches upon the issue of finance in our democracy and what it's doing to us, not just the environment. When I think about no, I left this over here. When I think about the tragedy in West Virginia, the worst tragedy since 1970, 29 miners dead due to the fact that you have a coal company that I would call a renegade coal company that is run by a fellow who has been on the cover of the Wall Street Journal, has prompted, as of recently, in the last year, Supreme Court case to adjust a West Virginia Supreme Court issue, where he spent $3.5 million of his own money to make sure that he removed a Supreme Court justice who was an advocate for the people, had a great reputation as a fighter for the people. He and his brother, who happens to still be our Attorney General in West Virginia, and placed this other, his hand-chosen person on the Supreme Court for $3.5 million. And he only had a couple of cases, totaling about $80 million apiece, that were on the docket coming up, and he knew it. And so it was a great investment for him. And then he also got caught whining and dining with a childhood friend, I'll give them that, in the south of France, and ultimately caused him to lose his Supreme Court seat this past time. So But I say this not an accident, and it's not an accident. We need a pro-justice people's movement in this country, and we may as well start it right here tonight. Even with this small group, that's all it takes, and we move forward. But we have to band together. We have to form, in reaction to Dr. Flower's words, strategic alliances. We have to be willing to not only reach out to those that we trust, but those that we don't trust, and try to move the people's agenda forward, and not just the corporate agenda, because it needs no help. I would add to what I was hearing about healthcare a couple of statistics that after I found out that Dr. Flowers would be here. There are 2 paid lobbyists here in Washington for every